All right. Doo-doo-doo. Hello, hello. This time with a camera. So this is my new build. I know it's been a while. I haven't been playing PoE in a little while. I haven't played the last season of PoE 1. I just want to give you like a quick guide on my Trinity Glacial Lands explosive spear character. I think it came out pretty good. It might not be as strong as the lightning thingy that everyone is playing, but I think overall it has a really nice playability, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on this map, and then after that we will talk about the character and how I smashed this together. Before I wasn't really happy with the defenses, etc., and I had to tweak a lot of things, and I didn't have too much time to play. So now I'm in a state where I feel ready to show the character and to give you guys a quick overview and a quick guide so you can see what this is about. So it's a bit more buttons than one button build, but we're alternating between. You can see the damage is pretty good. We one shot everything. You know what that is. We also have pretty decent AoE now. I changed a couple things to make that work, and we are in a clear setup. So if the damage looks too low at the boss because of that. And as you can see, we get our Trinity up very nicely usually. I don't know why it's so laggy. I think it's because I'm recording, I guess. Keep in mind this is a pretty normal map. There's no mods on this, but you can definitely run harder content. Frozen, what the fuck? My mouse here is super laggy from streaming. Weird. Map is not the best to showcase. Ideally, we would showcase a ravine. I think that's the most fun of this build because you have this glacial lands and then everything splatters away on the way, and you can just go straight through. Let's go for the boss quickly. Keep in mind this is now with the reach and magnified effect. It's no damage setup. I'm not switching now. Oh shit. It was pretty slow actually. I didn't get a freeze out. Could have been way faster. Still okay-ish damage, but it's usually way higher, especially if you switch the setup, but I couldn't get bothered. We go to around 200k on explosive spear. And to around, like with the other setup, I don't even know. I need to check POB. But yeah, overall, it would have been way faster kill. Also, especially if we got a freeze out. I do run, but I will show you later, I do run the node that ignores resistances if you freeze. Alright, anyways, I think map is complete, yeah. Alright. Oh. Could have been a bit faster, but still quite an okay showcase. As I said, like the boss damage is usually way better, but I didn't switch the setup to bossing. Okay, first of all, let's go through the skill set we use and why I have the setup that I have. Doesn't really matter, right? We have infused weapon from the tree. We have conk effect here, rising tempest, immolate, blind, which you could exchange this, but I really like having blind here. I also have some blind chance, but it's not enough. And super critical. This basically only matters because I'm switching this in and out. I'm not 100% sure what's best here. This is a little bit thrown together. Maybe bullseye would be better. Actually, retreat would be better, right? No, I can't put retreat in. That's the problem. Yeah, retreat doesn't work on infused. Okay, so this is our most important skill, Glacial Lance. It's basically our main skill together with Explosive Spear, Martial Tempo, pretty obvious choice, Cold Infusion. So we have way more cold damage, and we can get our Trinity up nicely. And this is also the best in terms of damage, right? I think this gives us from 46 to 55k DPS. Ice Bite, pretty self-explanatory. Whenever we freeze, we get 35% extra cold damage, which is insane. Then we have Reach, which is only for the AoE, right, for clearing. And Magnified Effect also for clearing. Otherwise, I have not checked POB yet. I'm not sure what the best setup is, but I think if we have blind here, the best setup is probably go like this. Go blind side and go super critical. I think this will be the best setup. The problem is it's not really showing the DPS correctly now, right? But I do believe this is the best setup. And it's also not showing our crit chance here correctly. Like when we put out super critical, this is super weird because this is super bugged. We at close range we are already at 100%, as you can see, right? This is 100%. So going lower here and having higher crit bonus, 100% higher crit bonus, I think this should be optimal in combination with blindside. We should have 100% crit here and insane bonus because this is 15% more. And we have blind here, so unless this does not trigger, and we also have blind on the normal attack, I do believe this will be the best setup. But I need to check POB, right? But this is what I would do for bossing. And as I said, otherwise, go with magnified effect. Actually, this goes here. With magnified effect and reach, just for the higher AoE, because the damage is good enough. Spear field, we have cold exposure here, also pretty self-explanatory. We do ignore cold resistance when we freeze, but I still think it's fine to have. This is not for damage anyways. Lightning infusion, so we do get our Trinity running on lightning. We have hit and run, so this is way faster, right? And we don't only need to use it every once in a while. So I think this is the best you can do. And then obviously Rage, because Rage is insane and gives you a lot of damage for basically nothing, right? Just this 1 point, and it hits very, very often. Then we have Explosive Spear, Overabundance, +1 limit, so you can put 2 of these, otherwise it's only 1. I don't think I would change that. Fire Infusion, more fire damage makes a lot of sense, right? And Expedite, so the timer here is lower. You could do without, but honestly, I think it's still the best thing to do. Because you wanna alternate between this and this every once in a while. And then we have Primal Armament. As a 6th slot, I could see Immolate, like going from Infused Weapon to here, is probably the best you can do. Because this will also add fire damage and will be good for the Trinity build-up. I think 6th slot Immolate will probably be best. Otherwise, you can choose anything that makes sense here. Concentrated Effect, Rising Tempest, all makes sense. Disengage, just for mobility, like you can, if you want to do a big leap when you're running around, you can go like this. Will be pretty fast, right? but you do not need to run this at all if you do not want to. But I think it's nice to have. We have second wind here, shocking leap, so we leave shocking round if we crit, and we always crit. And untouchable. I don't know what's best here. I just put this in and saw it looked good. It's not that important. We have Trinity. Pretty self-explanatory here. We alternate between all three elements, and so we get this almost always full. And this is a ton of extra damage. Combat Frenzy, so we generate frenzy charges, and Profusion. We have more frenzy charges. Wind Dancer, always good to have. Not sure what I put in here. I haven't really thought about this at all, to be honest. And then we have the Dire Tusk Boar. This is a really good companion that I found. Try to get something similar and make sure that you can run this with your spirit, but I will show you my tree soon. So this has Haste Aura, extra energy shield, and all damage shocks, which is insanely good combination. Got pretty lucky with this. We have Loyalty here, so 10% of damage goes to the minion. Meat Shield, so it has more life. Elemental Army, so it has more res. And Last Gasp, so it will not die for 4 seconds when it's actually dying. And then we have Tame Beast, so I can tame, but usually, like, if I do not hunt for something specifically, I will not bother with this anymore. Let's look at the tree quickly. Basically, what you want to do. Actually, I think it's probably better to look at the items first, because we are stacking accuracy, right? As you can see in the tree, we have all the accuracy nodes, and we do stack accuracy. We do have penetrate as well here on the tree, and we do have critical strike. This is very important. So we have a weapon that gives us accuracy rating for penetrate, extra accuracy rating. Helm is pretty good helmet, but pretty standard, like only life dex in cold res. We have accuracy on our amulet here, and we allocate heavy frost. That's what I meant. Like when we freeze, we will ignore elemental resistances of frozen enemies, which is super good. You could also go for the amulet. I can't remember the name that ignores elemental resistances when you crit, but we do need the spirit, so I think this is the better solution. We have accuracy here, accuracy here. We do use a normal shield. You can use Lycosidae, right? This is really good to use. The problem is defensively it's not that good, and it will not add too much damage. I mean, it will add damage. It will definitely add damage, but I don't think it's worth it. I have enough damage. I'm not switch anymore. Fucking Christ, 1 second. Okay. So let me check damage quickly. So this goes to 63 now, right? Or 58, but it depends if my... What? Okay, never mind. It doesn't depend if my companion is next to me. It's 58k, and this is 55k. So it doesn't even give us a lot of damage. The problem is, this is now, because I already am so capped, I think. If you are lower, and if you are earlier level, definitely use Lycosidae, because doubling your accuracy rating will be huge damage boost. I think early on it was like 20% DPS, right? So it's definitely a good choice. And it also has decent or good block chance. So the problem is like a normal shield with a lot of armor and evasion rating. I think this is the best in slot that you can do, basically, armor and evasion, and then reduce crit chances and a lot of life. You can go with evasion, energy shield, or only energy shield. I think the problem with the tree is it's pretty tough to get to these ES nodes and get all the crit nodes in. But you can definitely try to do this route here, right? Get Spectral Ward and get what a lot of people do. Get Spectral Ward and get, what's the other one? This one, right? And then you go basically energy shield gear. But I will go the other route. It might be inferior. I'm not quite sure yet, because ammo is not that great. So as I said, accuracy rating here, accuracy rating here, accuracy rating here. These are insanely good gloves. I don't think I will ever find anything better for this slot. It does not have life, unfortunately, but these are pretty good. Yeah, life, pretty standard boots as well. And basically max resistance on two of these. We are at 77 max res. The reason why we are at 77 is because we have this armor as well. You might think, okay, why are you taking armor and energy shield here? Because you're basically not using it, right? You're not stacking energy shield, and you're. I mean, I have armor here, right? I have a little bit of armor, which is not great. The thing is, this was really cheap, and getting a high-end evasion base or energy shield base or combined evasion energy shield is insanely expensive. And again, this was really cheap, and plus all max res. You should not deny how good that is, right? So basically, I'm trying a little bit of a mix of armor and evasion, and it's working out great so far. But yeah, armor is not perfect. Keep that in mind. If you want to go the energy shield route, that's perfectly fine. There is probably a bunch of solutions for this, but I decided for this tree. So let's dive into the tree quickly. What we did here. I mean, this node is also pretty self-explanatory. Attack speed per dex, and we got all the nodes that give us increased attack speed for accuracy rating, and we also have the increased accuracy rating equal to your crit strike chance. I do not know how good this is, and if this will calculate together with critical strike. I mean, theoretically there would be an infinite loop, but there has to be something that is capping this, right? We get all the crit nodes here, we get all the crit nodes up here. And what's really important is this, because otherwise we will not have the reservation that we need. And also the companion will give us a lot of damage now. The problem with the companion is it can die very easily, so I would suggest you get these 3 nodes at least, right? So it has more resistances. I think there's also one with life. Let's revive faster. But make sure your companion does not die. This is whatever, I could get rid of this. And otherwise we have this node. This is pretty good, especially if you have a lot of armor and energy shield, right? Attack damage per armor and evasion. 50% increased defenses. And we also have this block chance node down here. Otherwise, we get some AoE here. Make sure you have enough AoE that it feels good. Otherwise, Glacial Lance can feel a bit lackluster. This node is also really good because 40% increased accuracy rating at close range. But I think we are already capped on good chance anyways. Not 100% sure. Yeah. Otherwise, standard nodes get all the dexterity here that you need. Get your slots. 3 slots, and as I said, I think you could, if you go energy shield, you could cut all of this from the tree, and you can go around here. Then you can also get a heavy frost is a bit far, but you could get here spectral ward, and you could go the energy shield route. But you need to experiment a little bit around. If you just want to copy this, I think this is perfectly fine. It's fairly tanky. I aim to go to like 3k life in the end. I think it's possible, and I think the defenses will be more than enough then. The jewels. So we have max fire res here. So we basically get to 77, 77, 77 now. We have 1 max cold res here, and where do we get the other one? I think also from a jewel. Yeah, 1 max lightning res here. This has companion deals extra damage, but this means we get extra damage because we have the node increase and reduction of the companion damage also applies to you. So this is really good. Get 1 max lightning here, 1 max fire here, and 1 from the gear. And we have blind here, which I think is kind of important. You don't not always have infusion. And yeah, pretty standard otherwise. Crit chance and projectile damage if you've done a melee hit in the past 8 seconds, which we will almost always do. We do use Valakos Roar Honestly, I'm not quite sure how good this is because we don't get hit too often. It's still good, but stun charm. I think they will change something how stun works, but a stun charm might be better. Otherwise, like my flasks are really bad. Actually, I haven't even upgraded them. Yeah, one more thing, make sure you have enough mana. You can definitely get into mana trouble if you don't have mana here on kill, which I do have. If you don't have this, you could also go without a companion and then run like Clarity or Heralds. Play around with it a little bit. I think in the end, companion is really good because you get the haste aura or whatever aura you want, which is a lot of damage. But you can make this work without a companion for sure. And then you have more spirit left. What you can also do, what a lot of people do, you can run a scepter. But keep in mind that if you run a scepter, this is 31% increased spirit, you need a lot of intelligence for the scepter, first of all. Right? A scepter can go into the secondary slot here. And you do not have any defenses. Like, do not underestimate how good even 30 block in combination with 32 evasion. This is insanely good combination, evasion and block, right? And do not underestimate how good this is. That's all I'm saying. Like offensively, this build is perfectly fine. I can go even more damage. Like I don't even have that insane of a weapon. I mean, I guess my gloves are insane, kind of insane in terms of damage, but there's still like I would say at least 30% upside potential. We're not even running a 6-link here on Explosive Spear. And there's a lot of stuff that we can still improve. So the damage is not at all a problem. The main problem is if you get into really hard maps is the defenses. So yeah, in general, I would not exchange defenses for more offense on this build. All right, I think went through everything. Did I forget anything? No, not really. I think that's pretty much it. Make sure your damage is basically make sure, right, if you use it in this setup, you can definitely do another setup, but I think this is the optimal because Spearfield doing a lot of hits. So make sure you get your lightning damage from Spearfield, your cold damage from Glacial Lance, and your explosive spear does your fire damage. If you do not want to bother with any of this, there's also these gloves. What are they called? I think I have them here somewhere. I'm 100% sure I have them somewhere, but probably. Maybe I'm not so sure about this. But there's gloves that will basically split your damage into all 3 damage types, always. But where the fuck are they? I'm pretty sure I have them. Yep. Yeah. So if you really do not want to bother with any of this, and you just want to go pure Trinity and only use one skill, you can use Painter's Servant, right? Because if you put this on, like all of your skills, or any of your skill, unless you have like Cold Infusion in. So now this will do 33% of any damage type. So what that basically means is there's a 33% chance that any of your outgoing elemental damage will be of any damage type. So if I put these on, theoretically, I haven't really tested this out to be honest, but theoretically, you should get your Trinity up very, very easily. Test this out quickly without even bothering to find some mobs. Not really sure if there's enough mobs left. Or maybe it just won't work at all. Okay, forget what I was saying. Like, it looks like it does not work. And I have no idea why not. Maybe I do not understand exactly how Trinity works. Oh, no, wait, it does work. But why am I looking here? It's cold. No, but this is only giving me cold, right? Okay, it seems to not work. So forget everything I was saying. Yeah, I don't know. If you can make this work, tell me in the comments. Guess I was pretty wrong with this, or maybe why does it not work? I don't get it. Let me see again. I have absolutely no idea. All right, it does not work. I don't know why, but you guys figure it out in the comments. But yeah, anyways, this was my build. Thank you guys for watching. It was a bit longer than expected. If you want to see me live, but it's mostly trading, I will stream almost every day on twitch.tv/tradersamwise. My own channel is twitch.tv/aruklas, but I barely ever stream there. And otherwise, see you in the next one for for a character update. See ya.